Welcome back to the FIA Formula E World Championship here in Japan. It is round 9 of the season and we are here in wonderful Tokyo. Sunshine kind of breaking through, track temperature at 28, air temperature 24. It's a better day than yesterday. Hello everybody, welcome up to the commentary box then. A very interesting qualifying has put Ollie Rowland on pole position with Dan Ticktum alongside him on the front row of the grid. However, it has now been confirmed that Mitch Evans will not start this race after repairs are needed to his car. So he is not starting this race. That is a hammer blow to what he needs in this championship right now. So he is not starting this race. Mitch Evans is a DNS. Taking a quick look at how they line up on the grid, though, it's quite an interesting run. Ollie Rowland's on pole with Dan Ticktum alongside, but we're moments away from the start of the race. Let's join in with TNT.
Well, we're keeping James Foster very busy today. Lucky he's got his comfy shoes on. We've sent him out to one of the flashpoints of this circuit to tell us what action we can expect later.
I'm down here at the treacherous turn 16. A long run out of turn 15 and a few different surface changes. This one in particular has caught a few drivers out. We've seen a few incidents here with Taylor Barnard getting caught out and ending up in the wall on the exit of the corner. Mitch Evans as well, Jean-Eric Verne in a dry. But we've also seen some brilliant moves. We saw Taylor Barnard capitalising on this very corner in the wet to do a beautiful move around the outside of Nick de Vries. It's super unforgiving here, but if you can get it right, there is everything to play for. In the race today, we're going to see some moves as the drivers lift off before this corner and have the opportunity to overtake into this very dangerous downhill sweeping fast left-hander.
Love it. So much action to come. Thank you so much, James. Now, I just wanted to take a moment. You can obviously see Dan Ticktum's car behind, and then look at the view that he has. Clear track ahead of him. He has never experienced that in Formula E before, Katie. How is he going to be feeling at the start of this race? It's a big one for him.
I think that he's the kind of person, you can see it in him, he just lives for these moments. And as an athlete, that's what you excel off, that's what you thrive off. I think it's going to be pure enjoyment now. I don't think he's going to do anything crazy, though, into the first corner. It's an energy-critical race, so he'd actually kind of be better off staying in the slipstream, letting Oliver take the lead.
Do you think Dan Ticktum will do that?
Probably not.
Knowing Dan. Is he going to do the sensible thing, or is he just going to race?
Well, it would be interesting to see, because this race wasn't won by pole position with Oliver Rowland last year, so he's learned something, but Dan will have learned something as well from that.
Yeah, that is true. Well, as you can see, we really are moments away before the start of this race. It's a track that requires precision, power, and all of those things that they've been working towards all weekend have to come together. Let's find out, could we see Dan Ticktum on the podium, or will Oliver Rowland continue his winning streak?
A very good afternoon, welcome along to round 9 of the 2025 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. We are back in Tokyo once again for the second of a double-header weekend. 24 hours ago, we saw a dramatic race in drying conditions, which culminated in Stoffel Vandoorne taking his first victory in 3 years in Formula E. 24 hours later, the complexion is completely different. 28 degrees track temperature, 24 degrees in the air, but it is very humid, quite overcast, and it is going to be very hot and sticky down there on the tarmac ahead of the EPrix this afternoon. Yes, it was 35 laps in duration. Today, 32 laps. And let's have a closer look at this circuit. Andre Lotterer and James Rossiter alongside myself, Tom Brooks. Andre, this is a brilliant circuit and it's provided drama from the word go.
Yeah, what a privilege to come racing in Tokyo, and too bad I missed out on it. I would have loved to race here with the history I have. But yeah, it's proven a lot of action. Attack mode there, really difficult to take, so close to the wall, and then a very tiny, twisty first sector. Now things are opening up for more speed through turn 9, and overtaking opportunities also after turn 9, breaking into the chicane. And yeah, they've made modifications. They've learned from last year, so they got rid of the chicane in turn 16. This is turn 15, where we saw Dan Ticktum also missed the corner bit, or drivers trying to overtake there on the outside, which is not a good idea. And yeah, the trickiest corner of all, turn 16, where the driver has made contact with the wall.
Yeah, perhaps got quite a few drivers out this weekend. Over the course of it, including the likes of Taylor Barnard, the rookie in free practice, but namely this morning.
Yeah, Mitch Evans, who's now not starting this race. He's your starting grid then. Robin Fryne starts at the back due to a penalty. Mitch Evans will not start in 21st position. David Beckman also penalised down to 19th on the grid. He's going to be inside Nico Muller in 20th. 18th for Stoffel Van Dorn. 17th for Jake Hughes on that grid. It's 16th for Sebastian Romy. Zane Maloney lines up 15th on the grid. 14th for Jake Dennis. Nick Cassidy goes into 13th place. 12th for Maximilian Gunther. And Nick De Vries lines up in 11th. Your starter for 10, Sam Bird in the Neon McLaren. 9th on the grid, his teammate Taylor Barnard. Neither of them getting through to the duels. Norman Nato lines up 8th on the grid for Nissan on home soil. Antonio Felix da Costa made a demon start yesterday, but almost went in the wall. He starts alongside. Lucas Di Grassi is 6th on the grid. 5th for Eduardo Mortada. What can he do when the lights go out? John O'Byrne lines up in 6th place. Sorry, for 4th place. Pascal Wehrlein starts 3rd. Dan Tinktum has his first ever front row start in P2. And Oliver Rowland, just like yesterday, will lead them down to turn number 1 when the 5 red lights go out in a few moments' time. Well, the tension is rising, the atmosphere is building. I'm Joshua Birch and we're ready for 32 laps and 8 minutes of attack mode for when this race gets started. Here's Mitch Evans watching this race from the sidelines. He will not participate when the green flag goes on. The race, though, will start. And they roll forward now from the dummy grid to the main grid. The anticipation is palpable. This is where it's win or bin. Ticktum alongside him for the first ever time on the front row of the grid. The smoke billowing in the background here in Tokyo. Yesterday's race was a wet weather masterclass from Stoffel Van Dorn. The Canada man who is 63 points ahead in the championship, starting on pole position, take us to even more highs. We're ready. Green flag at the back. All eyes to the lights. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out. We're racing in Tokyo. Great start from Oliver Rowland. Immediately cuts across Dan Tinktum. Coming through out of nowhere. Eduardo Mortara is on the inside line. Into the braking zone for turn 1. As they come through already, we've got Wehrlein trying to go on the inside of Dan Tinktum into the braking zone for turn number 3. They just about hold it stick. Rowland leads Tinktum. Van Dorn trying to come back around the outside line as well. Further back, he's battling with Beckman and Hughes. Barnard's up. Da Costa, Nato, Di Grassi all losing place on the start. Contact between them as well. Part of Di Grassi's front wing flying up. It's spotted by his teammate Zane Maloney, but it's Rowland leading the way from Tinktum in 2nd, Wehrlein 3rd, Mortara 4th, Vern 5th, and already that's Nato going to the inside line and Di Grassi coming through turn 9. Down towards the chicane we come then. Rowland leading from Tinktum. Good start then. They will hold it together. Cassidy's got ahead of Maximilian Gunther as well, so watch out for that when the race goes into the attack mode. It's two attack modes. You can have either a 2 and a 6, a 4 and a 4, or a 6 and a 2 in terms of how many minutes you activate it for across the weekend. But a super duper start and a super duper smooth start from everybody. Lap 1 complete then, and it's Ollie Rowland who is your race leader. Dan Tinctum is in second, Pascal Wehrlein in third, Mortara in fourth, with Vern fifth, Barnard sixth, Jacosta seventh, Nato eighth, Grassy Knight Bird's top 10. Gunther's having a little look on the inside. Contact! Now that looks to be De Vries with a broken wing. Yeah, De Vries got a broken wing. Frying serving his drive-through penalty.
The back.
So the penalty has been given, so we will box this lap and maximise the slipstream while you can.
So this is
Mortara and Jean-Eric Verne are under investigation for causing a collision on the start. So that's what's happening there. As away goes Robin Fries from his pit box, then he will continue on in this race. He was at the back of the field, so that's how it situates at the moment. Had to watch here, not available live stream in PH as well. Is that pronounced the Philippines? I'm not sure. But hello, welcome along, glad you're here. Roland leading from Tinctum in second. On board with De Vries, yeah, the front right end plate of De Vries' front wing has been broken off and it's flapping in front of the tyre. The nose as well has got a bit of a shove, so I wonder if this will be De Vries being caught up, maybe in something with what we saw with Norman Nato at the start with Degrassi. We saw the real Constantino up, and that's allowed Bird to slip back through into 10th position. We'll wait for a replay on the start. Roland leads from Tinctum, Wehrlein, Mortara, Verne as they come through. Barnard's having a little look as well. He's on Verne into turn 1. Nothing changing there though, as they swing back through for the third time. Down towards turn 4. No one going for attack mode yet. Remember that today, no pit boost, so no plus 10 kilowatts of energy power usage. This is all down to flat out racing and smooth racing. And then they're going to lift and coast. Jake Hughes has taken 6 minutes of attack mode. So Hughes is in 17th ahead of his teammate Van Dorn, who won here yesterday. So Hughes will have 6 now and then 2 later in terms of the minutes of activation he's allowed to use. 0 to 100 on the start. Roland got the best, 2.24 seconds. It was a blast off from him. Cut across Tinctum immediately, but Tinctum has stayed with him. Is he over-consuming energy, though, Dan Tinctum, in the Cooper Cairo to get ahead of Roland in the Nissan, who's controlling the pace at the moment. The gap 0.337 now, as Bird and De Vries have been noted for an instant between them. I wonder if De Vries then run up the back of Bird, and that's how Bird's got through. There was a Constantine, as I said, down at turn 5 as we come out of the last corner of turn 18 down towards turn 1. Tinctum's regenerating energy as there's battles further back, as at the inside that is going to be that's Barnard and DaCosta battling hard. Barnard's through into 6th position, DaCosta down into 7th position, as you can see on the timing monitors, swapping places. So the battling already beginning as to who's going to have it. Don't forget, Mitch Evans has not started this race. He's coming out with no points at all from Tokyo. Let's hear it from Pascal Verne on the radio.
So just info, Roland is running to his target. Roland is running to his target.
Okay, so increasing that target would be to increase the overall energy save between them and don't over-consume energy. And then swapping Fries at the top of the timing screen. He's off at turn 8 in the moment, now through the kink at 9. So that's how far away the field is, because they're at turn 18, the last corner on the circuit. Look at this, up the inside for Pascal Wehrlein. He's feeling racy now. Roland's backing the ball up too much at the moment. Wehrlein fancies it went on Dan Tinctum for 2nd position, but we've got Mortara and Verne coming in. Nato's got ahead of DaCosta for 7th position. Over the line we come then. Hughes passing Cassidy. Hughes with that attack mode still. And Degrassi we look on board with, because Nato's diving up the inside line for a move on DaCosta at turn 1. And there we go. It's made it stick. Degrassi with a little bit less wing through that first lap contact, trying to get through on DaCosta. Can't slip through on the inside. No one else taking the attack mode as De Vries is taking it. Mortara, black and white flag for moving under braking. That's a big no-no. Yeah, FIA introduced that roll after Max Verstappen did it numerous times in Japan. Bird under attack from Hughes, who's on that attack mode now. Oh, and this is ridiculous. De Vries's front wing's about to go underneath the car. It's shredding itself over the circuit right now. I've got a feeling that we're about to see a black and orange coming out for De Vries as we see side by side Hughes trying to go around the outside of Sam Bird. This is the guy ahead. He's got the undercut. Bird's not got four-wheel drive compared to Hughes, who went in the attack mode, gains the ability to go 350 kilowatts per hour and four-wheel drive, not just the two at the rear. De Grassi's in the battle as well. Bird and De Vries is under investigation for causing a collision. De Vries' front wing is about to fly off into the middle of the circuit. They're not careful here. De Grassi really trying to get past Bird now as well. Bird's trying to swing around the outside into turn one. De Grassi has the inside line and stays ahead. Well, that's looking good then. Attack mode coming through for a few other drivers. Barnard, 4 minutes. Da Costa, 4 minutes. Maloney, 4 minutes. They're all taking the half approach right now. So several drivers are coming to be on the attack mode for a half and half split. Seems logical. As we move going down the inside there as we see Taylor Barnard getting ahead of Norman Nato for 6th position. Verne still in 5th. He's his next target. Nato looks struggling there because here comes Hughes. Also on attack mode though. So there's an extra power, kilowatt energy. It's really no spot in the last corner. Verline so much wants to get through on Tictum. Black and white flag for Mortara for causing a collision as well as De Grassi looked for a move on the inside. Da Costa, that wasn't there. And now around the outside, Barnard's trying to use his four-wheel drive momentum for more action. Buemi also in attack mode, getting ahead of Jay Dennis as they come onto the brakes. Yeah, Barnard's passed Verne into 1. So Barnard's up to 5th. Attack mode now coming through. Tictum's taken 4 minutes. Verline's taken 4. Mortara's taken 2. And so's Jean-Eric Verne. So there's the activation. So Roland's the only one not with the attack mode, and he's got Tictum right behind him, who stayed in 2nd position now on the 4 minutes of attack mode. This is wonderful for Dan Tictum. He's going to be able to breeze ahead of Roland and keep the lead of the race. So through the chicane, Tictum, is he going to be wise and do what James Rossiter just said on the world feed and keep some energy back and sit in the toe behind and save energy, or go for it now?
He'll do it at the exit of the final corner, starting the next lap.
And you can see he's unlocking some pace to create maybe a gap to only lose 1 position to maybe Dan Tictum. But yeah, he was holding the pack together, but now he's unlocking some pace to create a gap and go for attack mode.
He also got someone between himself and Verline, which was so important.
Yeah, this is working nicely here for Tictum. He goes to the inside for the race lead. Down to the first corner. Dan Tictum leads for Cupra Kiro. And fantastic overtake there down into turn 1. And now we see the remaining energy available for the drivers. Tictum and Roland, pretty even Stevens at the front.
Tictum looks really strong here. His car looks so well balanced, and when you have a good balance in your car, you can roll the speed through the corner, and having high minimum speeds, you are able to use less energy.
But ideally, you don't want to be on attack mode at the same time as the others, because you don't create that delta in speed.
Barnard's been able to make a position there against Pascal Verline, possibly looking to threaten Oliver Roland down into turn 10. Roland defends, covers the line on the inside. Can't get 2x2 through there. Some drivers have struggled to get 1 car through there over the course of this weekend. But
yeah, several accidents that were having to suffer as well. Look at Barnard looking very racy indeed around the outside of Ollie Roland. Oh, and they bang wheels, the two Brits having a bit of a Barney. Barnard's going to go through though, round the outside. The inside line over the debris from that winglet of Nato and De Vries. Through goes Barnard now for 2nd place. So the question of the hour is, are we going to see a change over as Verline comes to the inside line and Roland down towards turn 1. So Roland now down to 4th. He has to take attack mode this lap. Has to, otherwise he's going to be sinking like a stone. And no matter if he takes it next, it won't work. De Vries, black and white flag for causing a collision. Roland does not take attack mode this time by. That's a big shocker. Well, I can't understand the logic about it behind him not using the attack mode. Barnard's out of it, so Verline's about to take second position. He's got such a great move on the outside line coming through. Here we go. No, Verline still can't make the move around the outside. Mortara in 5th, DaCosta in 6th, Hughes 7th, Vern 8th, Nato 9th, Bird in 10th position as they come through. And Verline still can't find the way through. Swings back to the inside line. Now he's got the drive. Barnard's trying to force it towards the wall, but Verline is through in towards turn 11. Verline takes it. And the Porsche guys nodding along. Florian Modlinger liking what he's seeing. Ticktum still the race leader here. Lap 10 of 32. Oh, big slide further back from Nato, who almost runs in the back of JQ's. Coming through the first corner. But a big slide on the start straight does manage to avoid it. All's fair in love and war in Formula E is what we learn all the time in racing. And up the inside, Norman Nato going for the move on Hughes with that four-wheel drive attack. He now has with another 1 minute 19 seconds left. Nato moves up into 7th position with absolute ease. Lap 10 of 32. Ticktum leading, but for how long? With Verline in 2nd, chasing him down. They're both out of the attack mode now as they fly through the chicane at 10 and 11 and down towards 12, 13 and 14. It's a great run. What a great circuit Tokyo actually is. Everyone had worries when we came here about how tight it would be, but it just suits the Formula E car racing so much. They've made a lot of modifications from when we were here last year. As again, we see battle defending. This is DaCosta blocking off Norman Nato so hard coming into that braking zone. It was a bit unbelievable how much they wanted to go for it. Over the line we come then. And pulling to the outside line this time, and we've got Bird on the inside further back as well. A little bit of contact to on that one. This sound almost goes into the wall. Nato was all over the place. The outside maneuver was not going to work there. He's wasted his opportunity now as DaCosta is going to be too far ahead by the time he gets back. Nato 10 seconds away now, out of power. Bird's going to be 2. Degrassi could have them both here and move up into 7th because he's got 1 minute 20 left of attack mode. Out goes Nato, out goes Bird of attack mode. Here comes Degrassi. Vern passing Hughes and Hughes doubling back on him. Verline looking strong behind Ticktum as well. De Vries has been quiet, naughty boy in chat this weekend, so sure he has indeed. Plug saying hello everybody as well. Welcome along to everyone else watching on JB Motorsports and Formula E Zone. Lovely move up the inside for Degrassi. Degrassi makes a move on the Nato for 7th position. And he's already got through on Bird as well. Degrassi did make them both stick during that last lap time by. Beckman passing Van Dorn as well. Van Dorn's having a shocking race here. Our race winner yesterday who was able to use the pit boost and timing of the safety car and subsequent red flag to his advantage. The red flag helped him. He was able to start from the back of the field. A little bit wide there for Degrassi, who outbrakes himself into turn 1, running on the back of DaCosta. No one else taking attack mode yet, outside the top 6. Ticktum leading then. Lap 12 of 32. So De Vries black and white flag causing a collision now, not for the other penalty as well for dangerous driving. The oil flags out there at the back as they come into the braking zone once again at this quick chicane. That's there to regen the energy back together. And we've got a full course yellow out on the circuit. Now that's unusual. And is that going to be before Verline gets to the lead of the race? No, full course yellow is out from race control.
3, 2, 1, full course yellow.
Full course yellow then, that's for debris on the circuit. You can see a bit of what looks like front wing, presumably. So that means the drivers are going to have to slow right down here.
I really hope Dan Ticktum didn't overshoot the entry into that full course yellow because he looked like he braked much later than Pascal Verline.
Yeah, you can see the debris there on the circuit.
That's Nick De Vries' front wing.
It's come loose again.
The one that you were saying you're surprised they haven't given a flag for.
Yes, I was expecting a flag for the Nick's front wing that was hanging off after that damage with Samba. Clearly, he's been given a warning for it. But yeah, those sorts of incidents shouldn't be happening.
So let's see what's happening then in this full course yellow and take stock of things. Tictum it is that leads. Verline, Barnard close behind. Roland is in 4th place, but still has his 2 attack modes remaining. The field all bunched up now, and the gap should neutralise. Let's have a look at De Vries's front wing going off of the car. So he has a bit of contact then into turns 10 and 11.
Big old whack into the back of Sam Bird.
Let's have a look at it. He's just going to get all crossed up on the brakes here, presumably.
Whoa.
He's braked way too late.
Way too late. Luckily, it's a big impact and very low damage. He got lucky with that.
It's the pedal in the middle you want. But
yeah, because he was far back. He was like completely out-brakes himself.
No excuse for that. Da Costa's in the pit lane here as well, so problems for Antonio Felix da Costa. That's a huge shame for him. Something has gone awry.
Oh, his steering.
Yeah, steering arm's broken, isn't it?
There's a bit of toe out on that car.
Could be that something happened while they were slowing down into braking for the full course yellow. I saw some cars trying to optimize that to the limit, and maybe we got caught by surprise there.
Yeah, that is a shame for Antonio Felix da Costa, his 3rd DNF of season 11 for TAC Heuer Porsche, and that's a big shame for the team, also in
Attention
the
everyone.
team standings.
This is full course yellow ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flags, please.
So away we go once more, and who's got the advantage as we start this race? Immediately to the inside line.
So attack situation, all 3 cars ahead of you have 4 minutes left. Almost everyone behind has 4 minutes left, apart from Mortara, 6 minutes remaining. Mortara, only car with 6 minutes remaining.
So Roland's in a bit of an interesting position here, because of course he wants to lose as few positions as he can when he does attack mode, so he doesn't have to spend more energy and more time cycling through the rest of the pack. How does he play this now, James, whilst he's in 4th, but obviously there's a big gaggle of cars behind?
I think he might be waiting till quite late in.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a late wait in the race just to see when he can push and how far he can take this race strategy. As things currently stand, lap 14 of 32. So we're approaching half distance of this race. As up the inside, Maloney's dropped a couple of places. I think he's going to go for the attack mode. He armed it, so yes. Maloney's just dropped down. Muller's passed as well on the attack mode. So Maloney's just dropped down to 17th place. I don't think he's armed it just yet. Da Costa's out of the race. That is a shame. And he can't believe his luck. Such an important race. Out goes Da Costa. Let's take a look at a replay then that we've managed to spot from the onboard cameras. He's got one, or he's going to run. Oh, under yellow, runs into the back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
I think he ran into the back of De Vries in the other Mahindra. I don't think it was Eduardo Mortara. Tictum still leading then, with Verline in 2nd place as the battle goes on. It's getting a bit dangerous here. Through we go then, no one in attack mode this time by.
Meanwhile, just behind Norman Nato, who's got a bit
Cassidy
more energy
taking 4
left
minutes.
in the tank. On board here with Edo Mortara. He's in 5th position at the moment in the Mahindra and having a far better race than his teammates, as we saw earlier on, courtesy of De Vries's front wing damage.
I'll just give a bit of a shout out to Lucas Di Grassi there in P6. He's doing a great job in the lowly Yamaha.
Yeah, he's got a little bit less energy, so that might come to bite him in the backside as Cassidy now in attack mode goes past Jake Dennis through to the chicane, gets the move done quite clinically and quite quickly.
So Cassidy was another one who had 2 attack modes left. He's now in the attack mode, and it'll be interesting to see if he can get himself quite far into that top 10.
Yeah, he's got to try and cycle through as quickly as he can. Next target, Sebastian Buemi, winner from Monaco a fortnight ago. Exited turn 15, down into turn 16. Easy pickings for Cassidy.
We have 1% more than all 3 cars ahead, same than Mortara behind.
So that's music to the ears of Oliver Rowland and his race engineer.
Didn't look like that to me on the graphic. I thought Tictum and Verline had the same energy as Rowland.
I wonder if they know something that we don't. Nato's under investigation for speeding under the full course yellow. So it could be going from bad to worse for Norman Nato. It has not been a happy weekend for him. He's had good pace in practice, but in the races, it's not translated into strong results at all. Yesterday, he finished 15th after just seemingly dropping back down the pack for one reason or another. No pace in the drying track conditions. And unfortunately for him, if speeding under a full course yellow comes to be true, that could be a penalty heading the way of the Frenchman.
Cassidy on a mission here, making good ground and making full use of his attack mode. Very efficient.
Yeah, there he goes.
overtake,
Cassidy's
so
through.
He'll move up in the points hopefully.
Yeah,
Cassidy goes through. Attack mode now also being taken. Well, there you go. Cassidy getting confirmed on our race control monitors here in the booth. So cautiously while accelerating, here's Roland again.
Kiwi.
Birdline leads.
Check in.
Birdline swings around the outside and takes the lead of the race into turn number 16. So Verline becomes the race leader. And it's all action stations now. Cassidy, 1 minute 40 away as they come into it. And just running together.
We'll see whether that proves to come to the fore.
Pascal has taken the lead of the race. We've missed that.
I did.
Pascal has jumped past Dan Tickton.
Yeah, and he's got a half-second advantage over Dan Tickton. Team radio.
I'm asking if he doesn't find me too hard.
Tickton too hurt to that one, Hodgson left out.
Yeah, no, after the battle we saw where Taylor pulled that beautiful move with the switchback on him in turn 15, he's definitely not going to be getting that compliance he's looking for.
Tara on the defensive line there against Nick Cassidy. Behind Cassidy, you've got Oliver Rowland, who's gone in for that first attack mode deployment. So how quickly now can Cassidy and Rowland disrupt this race for Edo Mortara? Looking into turn 15. The thing for Rowland is he's got Cassidy right in front of him. Cassidy's got a little bit less attack mode here.
But what's interesting is Rowland only took 2 minutes, so he's saving 6 minutes for the end of the race.
2 by 2 into there. Mortara does manage to defend through turn 16 against Cassidy. Cassidy's not going to give this one up, though. Might try and slingshot it out of the final corner and across the timing line. Again, Mortara parks the car in the middle of the road.
That's going to be dangerous. Rowland's in there too.
Grip under braking, but can he get it stopped going through there? No. He still sits in 5th place at the start of lap 18.
So now we're seeing the disadvantage of Oliver Rowland and Nissan's team strategy. By not taking the attack mode earlier, they're finding it really difficult to cycle through. They've been bullied back down the pack. They're now stuck in 6th place, and I don't think he's going to be able to make many moves, maybe 1 or 2 maximum, before his attack mode runs out. And he's going to have to do it all at the end of the race. It puts him in a much more difficult situation.
Yeah, Cassidy's attack mode has come to an end there, so Rowland goes in front of the Jaguar driver through turn 9, and he needs to get a reload because he's only got 20 seconds left himself. Well, I wonder if this could be the undoing of Oliver Rowland and whether the Nissan team have made a mistake in terms of the strategy call here, because all in front now have got 1 attack mode deployment remaining, and it's down to Oliver Rowland to try and make the difference. Turn 15, no way through on Mortara here, and the attack mode's about to finish. Oh, big sacrifice here on the exit of the corner there. Mortara again parks the car in the middle of the road and defends.
So that oversteer moment is when he ran out of the attack mode and suddenly he's gone from the all-wheel drive straight into rear-wheel drive halfway through the exit of the corner. That's the first time we've seen a massive moment like that.
Yeah, and that's the disadvantage of having 4-wheel drive. Black and white flag for Hughes moving under braking. I suppose that's the first time as well. Dennis now moving to the inside line to get ahead of Jean-Luc Vergne, the 10th position as they come through as well. That is the first time I remember seeing such a drastic change on the overall running systems mid-corner. Let's take a look at Cassidy once more. So pulls out, this is downhill into 4. And have attack mode. Does he try and arm it and miss it? No, he's just touching the back of Rowland. Just a kiss behind. Oh, and then a full-on punch. Yeah, okay, rear camera's broken. Norman Nato speeding under the full course yellow. A 5-second time penalty has been added to him. And Dennis has passed him as well with that 2 minutes of attack mode left. Verline is your race leader with Tickton in 2nd. Barnard 3rd, Mortara 4th, Rowland 5th, Cassidy 6th, Degrassi 7th, Dennis 8th, Nato 9th, Bird has your top 10, Verne 11th, Boemi 12th, Muller 13th, Hughes 14th, no, Muller 12th, Birds, Bromley down in 13th, Dennis passing to Grassi, it's changing as quick as I can say it here, as through they go on the inside line down to turn 1, Dennis making that move stick, a lovely move with the four-wheel drive power. And breathe. Holds the line, no one taking the attack mode just yet. We've all got another one to play with, let's hear from Dan Ticktum.
I'm just going to cover Pascal. I'm not going to overtake him to 10 in the moment. When he lifts early, I'm just going to drive side by side and then let him go again. Okay.
So Ticktum letting us know his game plan. He's not going to go for the overtake. He's just going to go side by side. Roland and Barnard have been noted. Dennis is passing Cassidy though. Down into turn 10 and 11. So that's a slipstream manoeuvre being made sweet. The red lights are on here in Tokyo for the traffic cameras. Dennis passing Roland around the inside line. Now he's done it. Great move, and Roland's caught a banner on the front of his steering. So Roland's caught something flapping around in the front wing. It won't cause him too much problems, but banners galore here in Japan. Through the chicane at the last corner. Down we go. Verline leads yet another lap. Muller's got ahead of Verne for the last time. And Dennis trying everything to get round the outside of Mortar, who's blocked incredibly hard in towards the first corner. Dennis muscles his way through on the inside at 2 and 3. Wonderful move from Dennis. On the inside line, gets ahead of the ever hard defending Mortada. 7 seconds left in his attack mode though. Muller and Verne has taken 6 minutes. His final attack. Buemi has taken 4 minutes. His final attack. Roger Griffiths, the team principal, down at Andretti, watching on after the misery that they had yesterday, with Dennis getting black flagged for entering the pit lane under a red flag, and when it was closed, then doing the recharge at the same time. It's not allowed for that to happen. So he was black flagged and disqualified. Nature's got that time penalty now as well, actually dropping down the field. So Bird actually running effectively in 9th position at the moment. Verline still in control of this race. Wonderful procedures we're seeing. I think we're seeing a new energy and a new redemption arc in this series right now. Verne pulling to the inside now to get her Bird. This is effectively for 10th but 9th on the field. And Bird knows it, doesn't defend that hard at this time of the race. He's not going to defend against Verne, who's got 6 minutes of the attack mode. Here comes then Ollie Rowland takes 6 minutes. Nick Cassidy has taken 4 minutes of the attack, and more kerfuffle coming up side by side as well. This is Cassidy trying to go side by side with Jean-Eric Verne. Verne's gone through, they came out together. Verne's got more energy, so that was actually detrimental for Cassidy to let him through, because that means that Jev's going to have more of an attack run. And now Jev pulls to the outside line, and Nato down to the chicane and makes his way up into 8th position. To Grassi, also looking a bit stronger now as well. And up the inside, Roland makes the move as well on Mortara. So, what is... Oh, and there, yep, there's Verne making the move onto Grassi. Roland's ahead now as well of Dennis. He's going to have the slipstream out of the last corner. Here he goes, full power. And Roland blitzes past. And can he get Barnard? No, he's too far back into turn 1, although he was thinking about it. That 23 of 32. Is this the moment we see everybody go, right, yes it is. Roland's going to have the inside line. Can he get the drive? Roland takes 2nd position. Ticktum's coming out, trying to have a go. Roland's back out to P2, and he's got more usable energy than what Verline will have in the end. It's worked out perfectly for Roland.
So mode 1, race echo, drive to beep.
Roland's going to be in more hotter temperature in the tyres. Can he get a ride on Verline? No. The top 8 now running in attack mode. 3:30 for Verline, 4:15 for Roland, 3:29 apiece for Ticktum. Barnard, 2:52 for Verne, 3:22 for Dennis, 5:22 Mortar, 2:03 for Cassidy. Buemi on 45 seconds. He's the odd one out at the moment. But he's going for it on NATO. And he's in officially to the top 10. NATO's got another one left to run. So has Degrassi. Verline radio.
Mod 3 when you can, mod 3 when you can, and race hotel, we fight right.
Yeah, because they know they've got less, they've got a minute less of attack mode. Roland's looking all over the back. Verline defending like crazy, coming into turn 4. Last thing you want here at this part of the track is to lose the attack, lose the grip. Really swinging roundabouts coming in now. Over the hill, jumping once more. Again, Roland's so close to the wall. Verline going defensive into the chicane. Roland trying to look through the way of the inside line. Verline saving energy. It's detrimental to be out front. He's going to have, yeah, it's as Tom Brooks just said, he's 45 more seconds that Roland's going to have over Verline, which is just absolutely insane. Frines is now going to be lapped. Frines getting to the point where he's going to be lapped by the field here. A little bit wider. Degrassi through into that braking zone. Verline, Roland, Tictum. Barnard, Jev in 5th. Still holding it together. Who's taking attack mode? That's Frines with 2 minutes. Bird's got taken 4. Verline still under the attack. 25% left for Verline and Roland and for Tictum. Verline still holding that front.
Fighting for the lead of this race. Could we see Tictum capitalise on it? He can stay behind, stay efficient. He's got almost a percent more than a percent than the two.
So after this, you can go over to the Formula 3 race. That's happening with Omi and Tom and JT. Taking through the production. Tictum moving out. He started second, now he's in third. Tictum might be under attack here as well from Barnard. So Roland's going to have another 45 seconds to make this move stick. He has to stick to the back of Verline. Verline is about to lose out on this energy. I don't know, notice, by the way, the attack mode graphic. It's the same as NASCAR, just a different colour.
Any energy numbers?
Energy, no.
Response there from his
No energy numbers then. 10 seconds left for Verline. Roland's going to get one opportunity to come through. As we look at Tokyo for some reason, instead of looking at the race. Out goes Verline of attack mode. This is the opportunity that Roland is looking for. Down in towards the chicane at turn 10 and 11. Roland lifting off, here comes Verline.
He's going to have one shot.
It's not Pascal, defend that, go fight.
Defend, go fight, but it's not going to work out because Roland's got four-wheel drive out towards turn number 16. Roland's looking for it. He's running out of time here, though. He's going for it. Verline goes defensive. Roland's forcing his way through around the outside. Stunning move from Oliver Roland, and he takes the lead of the race. He had one opportunity, one shot to make it count, and it's exactly what he did. And Roland leads here in Tokyo. And now it's a level playing field. Lap 28 of 32, both out of attack mode. Stunning move. Roland leads, and can he win in Japan? Nissan's backyard. Frines takes his last attack mode of 6 minutes. This is a stunning mental game of chess. Roland.
It could be a cork in the bottom here.
The attack situation behind.
Yeah, Mortara sniffs an opportunity here for a podium. He's got 40 seconds of attack mode remaining and an opportunity to find on Taylor Barnard. Looks for the outside into turn 9. Can he find his way through? Barnard's going to try and defend it. Parks the car in the middle of the road. On the outside goes Mortara into the chicane. That's a brave move through there. Barnard's got track position and holds firm for now.
He's also going to have a chance on the exit of this turn 15. Will we see a repeat of a similar move than what we just saw Oliver Rowland pull off?
He's trying it.
Down into turn 15 we go. Mortara looking for the outside line. 15 seconds of attack remaining. Bit of hip and shoulder. Faces the wall. And now he's going to have to try and find his way through into turn 16. That's a brave move through there. Barnard with again a robust defensive move. And into turn 16. The attack mode's going to come to an end here for Mortara. It's now or never time. And he's not managed to do it.
And he's under attack as well from Dennis. Dennis has the outside line, so it hasn't worked out. Mortara's vulnerable to Dennis as he comes over the line. Rowland leading, Verline second, and now it's all an energy race. Oh, this is how Formula E should be. Not the Peloton style lift and coast. This is true Formula E action, and why? We're on a street circuit. It's proper street fighting. Look at Barnard round the outside of Tington, going for the move, and he's done it. He's forced Tington wide. Stunning move from Dan Tington. Being defensive, brilliant move from Taylor Barnard. Both of them deserve credit there. Robust defending and robust opportunity finding. Verline trying to go around the outside. Bangs wheel with Rowland into turn 10. That's not going to work out, I'm afraid. Rowland keeps the lead of the race. We're in for a fantastic last few laps. Strap yourself in if you're just working out wherever you are in the world. Make sure you put your coffee or tea down as well. You're going to be on the edge of your seat here. Tington's going to go for a run here. Verline's going defensive. Barnard's coming to the inside line. They're laying on the brakes as well as they come through. Vert's gone wide. Tington's coming back through on the inside line as well. They're all coming out of nowhere. Tington's going to force Barnard wide. Tington's going to go around the outside of two of them. Tington's going to have a great exit here if he's not careful. Oh! Tington makes his way back up into third place. Now he's going after Verline. And now he's going to take him into turn 1. Here goes Mortara on the inside. Mortara hits with Barnard. Contact between the two. Barnard with debris. At the inside comes Jake Dennis. At the outside of turn number 4. Unbelievable pandemonium. Dennis on the inside. He's going late. And Barnard into the wall goes Barnard. Barnard's got a rear suspension failure. Barnard is out of the race. Is that going to cause a safety car? Where did that come from? Wow. That was drama. Is that going to be a yellow flag? Is that going to be safety car? The race is going to be behind the safety car. And this is now the last opportunity.
Trying to make the movie for
Oh, and he ticks with Tington. Safety car's out. And now they'll slow it down. Oh.
There, but that neutralises the race, and what Verline wanted to do was get that position in case the safety car stays out to the end of this race.
So all of that chaos was initiated by Oliver Rowland trying to save a bit of energy after he spent so much getting from 6th to 1st in that last attack mode. He had to recover some of that energy deficit, and therefore he was trying to slow down, recover it, and the fight behind was amazing.
Aggressive defending there from him, and everyone's bunching up and creating a lot of mess. So it's really sad to see Taylor Barnard retire from this race because he had great potential and he was on the move to go forward.
Yeah, there was contact there with Edo Mortara going into the right-hander, and that unfortunately was the downfall of Taylor Barnard. A face full of barrier was what greeted the 20-year-old from Norwich out of the race.
And I think it was contact from Mortara that initiated that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So Barnard out of this one then. Dennis up 10 places here. Confirmation of no added laps. This is going to be a sprint to the finish if indeed that safety car does come in. So look at Mortara, 5th in your picture.
Now this was the move on Dan Tington. Brilliant from Barnard. Round the outside of turn 6. Just parked himself on the inside of turn 7. Nothing Dan can do about that. Bit of a surprise, but a brilliant move.
Yeah, and this is where it all really got feisty going into the final chicane. So you see Rowland versus Verline side by side. Tington got the better of Barnard. Barnard had more momentum but no room to use it because there was a Porsche right in front of him. And then down into the next part of the circuit, this is where it kicked off. So Mortara's going to go clattering into the back of Taylor Barnard. Barnard with broken suspension straight into the wall.
Small touch but with huge consequences. And yeah, Oliver Rowland is actually creating a bit of a mess for everyone behind him.
I feel sorry for you guys as well. This race was so good. Such a good race until I got taken on.
So he's not out of the car yet.
Yeah, it was awesome driving.
Apologies. He's not out of the car yet, it's Taylor Barnard. The safety car is out, and you can see it's trundling around at a snail's pace right now. But what have we got? 2 laps to go at the end of this one. It's if they can get the car recovered.
That really comes in handy for Oliver Rowland. I think it will change with the energy target and will make it easier for him to lead the race and with his efficiency.
But will we see Pascal Wehrlein try and make a move? If he wants to get any chance of this championship, he's going to have to make a move on Oliver Rowland. Oliver has it all to lose. He's got such a big lead in the championship. Pascal's going to have to try something at the restart.
Yeah, that's the advantage that Pascal has, and I think Oliver, we spoke to him before on the grid, and he needs to score some solid points to keep that championship going strongly the way he did, and yeah, and Pascal wants a win.
Yeah, we heard Oliver very frustrated yesterday with the second place. He wanted a win yesterday, and if this one is lost to Pascal Wehrlein, he will be very disappointed in himself. So it's going to be an interesting restart if he can hold on.
Wehrlein's deficit in the championship going into this race, 67 points. You can see what it would mean, though, if he finished in second to Oliver Rowland. He would manage to close that deficit down. There would still be a sizable margin going into the next race weekend in Shanghai.
And there's 2 teams that really stand out today, Cupra Kiro and Lola Yamaha Abt. I mean, to have Dan Ticktum heading for his first podium in Formula E and Lucas Di Grassi for a top 6. Great performances from those 2 teams.
Yeah, further down the order, one driver that's in trouble.
Okay, so if he restarted this lap, we expect 4.5 targets. So quite high, a bit more small. Understood, yeah. It's already higher than that. Yeah, with that extra up. Copy. Yeah, it's full push, mate, more or less. So.
Yeah, it's going to be flat out to the finish,
Yeah,
isn't it?
so meaning when it's flat out, it's very difficult for the drivers to overtake because there's no lift and coast. Lift and coast enables the drivers to consume more energy and send it on the inside. But unfortunately, when there's a safety car, then the target goes higher and it's flat out. So that comes in handy for Oliver Rowland.
The other beauty of going flat out is you have to risk everything. And they haven't done any flat out laps in this race. So will you see someone outbraking themselves or making a mistake?
That 6th place is going to become a 5th place for Lucas Di Grassi because Mortara has been given a 5-second penalty for that collision, which has removed Taylor Barnard from the equation of this race. No surprise there at all. I'm just finishing my earlier thought about one driver that is in trouble is Jake Hughes in the Maserati. He's still got an attack mode deployment left and there's no time for him left to run it. That will be a penalty post-race, and given the fact that his teammate Van Dorn is retired, disappointing day.
So obviously goal is to hold position when he goes green. Yeah. Not concerned by energy.
Yeah.
Not sure that information.
Remind me what full push is.
Not sure that information's down was so useful. I think they'd be better off telling him as he asked for the energy that he needs for a full push lap.
No, if it's clear that it's a full push, then yeah, he just told Dan to hold position and make sure he can capitalize and
Safety
bring
car
that
this
point
lap.
home.
Yeah,
One lap
I'm quite
shootout.
confident that Dan wants it as well. I mean, he also knows there's nothing silly to be done with the factory Porsche Pascal in front of him.
Yeah, definitely. And wasn't he racing in Japan for a while ago?
Super Formula.
Super Formula, what year?
He came to race against me 2018 in Super Formula.
Safety car in at the end of this lap. It's going to be a 1-lap sprint to the checkered flag then. Oliver.
This is going to be a lot of fun then, isn't it? Hold on to your seat cushions, people. Safety car dives off. Roland, Wehrlein, Ticktum, Dennis, Mortara with a penalty. So it's Nato, who's down in 16th. Van Dorn lap time lead for track limits. Right, Roland's gone for it. Green flag's out. Wow. It'll be our last lap shootout here in Tokyo. The green flag flies. Lap 32. We are racing for the final lap. Roland, it's a flat-out run to the end now. All on the same amount of energy. One mistake, and that's it. Is Ticktum going to want to hold on or go for it? Jake Hughes is being passed by Beckman and Maloney, so they've already taken the opportunity. Hughes is going to get a penalty, though, because he hasn't taken all of his attack mode. That's why he's had to go across the line. 2 minutes left, so Hughes going to have to literally lift and coast around a 1 minute 15 lap time in order to not get a black flag, but he's outside the points anyway, so Hughes is effectively out of the running. This is the opportunity, though, for an overtaking up and down in towards turn 11. Nothing here. Roland's got complete control. He's on course for yet another race win. Is there nothing that this man cannot do in Formula E this year? It is going to be yet another win. Nissan will be 22nd a winner. Ollie Rowland will be a 6th career win as he comes through the last corner. Everybody tried, everybody failed. In Nissan's backyard, the championship leader dominates Tokyo. 6th career win for Ollie Rowland. And the championship lead increases at the halfway stage of the year. 9 of 18, and it belongs to Ollie Rowland. Two poles and a win. What a weekend for Ollie Rowland. He wins with Nissan at home in Japan.
Catch up with the Briton.
Let's catch up with him now.
Oli, Andre here in the comms box. Congratulations. How stressful was that race? You were struggling a bit on energy, but you managed to keep it together and win this race. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit silly in the beginning to drop down to 6th, and then only having, I didn't do a very good first attack mode, so I decided to go early, get the positions, and then obviously with Pascal, he was pushing a lot, so I consumed a lot. But yeah, I knew I could about stay in front with what I was at, but yeah, the safety car obviously helped in the end.
Great job, mate. Congrats.
Yep, superb job from Oliver Rowland, taking his 4th victory of the 2025 Formula E season. Thoroughly deserved, extends his lead in the Drivers' World Championship also, especially with Antonio Felix da Costa being a DNF here in this race. And again, it is another step to the top for Oliver Rowland and to the title. So a double podium finish then for... And the win here this afternoon as well. That'll be delight for him and delight for this man as well.
And then it was like, if he was half a second faster, I would have come out alongside Rowland with 4-wheel drive on the entrance to turn 6, and I would have kept it and it would have been fine. But I don't really think we could have done much more.
Dan, this is the start of our journey. This is a start.
Yeah, no, well done everyone. I'm so happy for all you guys, I really am.
Yeah, well done to keep it calm. You did what you promised me. Good job.
A podium for Dan Ticktum, delight for Cooper Kiro as the start of a long journey for that team.
Yeah, this is very emotional to hear. So nice, because you know, when you put a plan together, you build on consistency, and you trust your driver to get on that journey together. A result like that is super important, and I think he could have even done better. He had the performance, but yeah, it wasn't going to go down well so long. And he was a bit a victim of that.
Everyone doubts me, but I'm going to start proving them wrong now, so
yeah, we will look for more.
Remember P-cap?
Yeah.
P-cap on tires.
Yeah, copy.
And this is exactly the result he needed to get that confidence that he's part of the top drivers. He knew he can do it, but now he's shown the world that he belongs up there, and if he has the right car, he can do it. And it'll be interesting to see how the second half of the year will be for him with that extra confidence.
Well, he's spent a few years in the wilderness as Dan Ticktum, so there's a very well-deserved debut podium in Formula E for the Briton. But this man here, Oliver Rowland, victory number 4 in season 11. And sheer delight for him. Again, extending that advantage in the Drivers' Championship. Pascal Wehrlein finishing in 2nd as well. That'll do his cause no harm at all. Oliver Rowland, victory number 4 in 2025 in front of Nissan's home crowd here in Tokyo. That will be an absolute party tonight, I am sure. Couldn't ask for more, Oliver Rowland.
What a race we saw today. It's formally proved again such exciting racing with attack modes, energy saving, drivers doing a fantastic job side by side doing across this twisty circuit. So yeah, really racing at top level.
Wehrlein and Pascal, Wehrlein and Dan Ticktum, I should say, down there in Parc Fermé, celebrating with one another. And Dan Ticktum with his first podium in Formula E.
I think I'm gutted for Taylor Barnard. He did so well, and I'm sure he could have moved up forward, and he was in contention for a podium, making great moves, placing the car in the correct places. So yeah, there's definitely going to be more to come from him. He's got a good powertrain. McLaren's using the Nissan powertrain. So yeah, it's great to see some fresh young blood performing super well.
And you got a feel for the man who we just see on the billboard behind, Taylor Barnard. A disappointing end to the race, and you wonder what he might have been able to impact on the end of that had the incident not occurred, and of course the safety car not come out.
Yeah, he's very impressive. He's placing the car exactly in the right places to defend, to attack, and showing a lot of maturity, which is not easy in this championship because the mistake is right around the corner. If you go a little bit outside, and he just knows where to place the car and shows his natural talent. So a great spot from Oliver Rowland. That's his protege.
Yeah, it certainly is. He used to race for the same karting team as the one that Oliver Rowland owned a handful of years ago. Such is the ascension that Taylor Barnard has made in the racing ranks. And now, unfortunately for him, it's a missed opportunity. But for Oliver Rowland, on the other side, it is sheer delight for him and for Tommaso Volpe. In front of Nissan's home crowd, that'll help the win bonuses, I'm sure.
Yeah, super important race win for them. As we know, Nissan is not going through the best times right now, so it is important for them to really do well.
Yeah, let's catch up with Oliver Rowland then. Victory number 4 in 2025.
Oliver Rowland, your 5th win of the year, but this one seemed like a massive fight today that was so well earned.
I don't know where to start. The race was crazy. I honestly didn't do a great job with my attack mode in the beginning. I dropped too far back, and then I got behind Nick, which was also in 350, so it stopped me from going forward. And I was a little bit regretting that at one point when I was like down in 5th or 6th. But I decided to roll the ball and go with the 6 minutes quite early, and it paid off quite well. And I just managed to get Pascal, and then I was obviously a bit fortunate because I was quite low on energy to get the safety car. But yeah, no words.
But you're a master at deciding the strategy and when to take that attack mode. How did you decide when to take those 6 minutes? It seems so pivotal.
I was actually not a master the first half of the race. I was pretty disappointed in myself, but I figured out that everybody kind of undercut me, so I thought I've got 6 minutes, I'll undercut them. And in the end it worked because I knew they would all react. I just had to make the progress on the first lap. So yeah, it paid off today, but I was a bit lucky on that side.
Your massive championship lead is unheard of in Formula E. How are you feeling, and does it take the pressure off you a bit for the rest of the season?
No, I've always said that Tokyo and Shanghai, I need to keep pushing, keep trying to extend the championship lead. So going into Shanghai, we'll have the same approach as here, and then maybe after there we can start to think about the lead we've got.
A huge celebration, and I hope you celebrate with your family tonight.
Victory number 4 of 2025 for Oliver Rowland. Extends his championship lead as well going into Shanghai.
Kept his nose almost clean, a little nudge.
Well, I have to say, the first half of that race, quite rightly so, he was a bit worried about that because he cycled right back through the field. He got a bit lucky with that safety car. Yeah, he managed to make the undercut work.
Yeah, that is the danger when you find yourself in the pack, then you're exposed to maybe, you know, touching other cars or being attacked by some aggressive drivers. So, yeah, it's not an ideal scenario, but yeah, he survived well and then a bit of luck, but he was not going to go down well.
Well, Pascal Wehrlein, meanwhile, podium number 3 of 2025 for the Porsche driver. Let's catch up.
Pascal, that was such a strong, aggressive drive to get P2 today. How important is that for your championship fight?
It was an important day in general, I think, as yesterday was very tricky. At the moment, I'm still a bit disappointed because I think we could have done better, but yeah, there was just no way to defend my position when Oli was in attack mode. So yeah, they did everything right, and probably we need to analyze what we could have done better. But yeah, still second is a good result with Dan in P3. It's a very strong day for our package, which on the other side then makes all of us happy.
Congratulations.
Pascal Wehrlein, podium number 3 of 2025. He should move ahead of both Barnard and Da Costa in the Drivers' Championship because, of course, both drivers failed to score here. Barnard and Da Costa, both DNFs for round 9. So we see Ollie Rowland embracing with his family down in Parc Ferme. Well, celebrations now starting to begin here in Tokyo. Let's catch up, though, with Dan Ticktum, his first ever podium in his 57th race here in Formula E in Japan.
Dan Ticktum, your first Formula E podium, how does that feel?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I mean, I'm already being like, oh, if we'd done this, I could have won. But no, I'm very happy overall, and it's a big boost for the team. Like I've been saying in interviews recently, I just don't feel like we've ever had a breakthrough this season, and, you know, that's it. So, yeah, we're really sort of competing consistently at the top now across all conditions, and, you know, the team executed a pretty flawless weekend. So, yeah, happy.
And you've been voted driver of the day here. What would you change? You mentioned things you could have done to take the win. What would you have changed?
There's not a huge amount I could have done. There was quite a long time where I was forced to lead, which is obviously not ideal. And then when me and Pascal went to take attack, Ollie got in between us. So I don't know what more we could have done from our side, really. Just different strategies, and it didn't quite work out for P1 or P2. But I mean, driver of the day, I mean, I'll take that. I thought everyone hated me, so, you know, maybe not. I'm happy. It's good. Thank you for everyone who voted for me. I appreciate it.
Well, congratulations. Go and enjoy your podium.
Say what you will about Dan Ticktum, but he's certainly a character, isn't he? And given the rate of progression that team has displayed in its relative infancy, of course, they were known as ERT last year, they were known as Neo and various other guises before that, but they never really had a shout. The last time they were on the podium was back in 2018 with Oliver Turvey. Now, here in 2025, they finally managed to break that duck and get themselves back onto the rostrum with the Porsche powertrain in the car and a team that is quickly on the rise through the field.
Yeah, definitely. They have a good powertrain now, so they can capitalize on this result and keep improving. And I think the exchange with Porsche and them is beneficial for sure.
Let's have a look at the race results then for round 9. Oliver Rowland it is that takes victory number 4 of 2025 in Nissan's backyard ahead of Pascal Wehrlein and Dan Ticktum. Lucas de Grassi just behind Jake Dennis there. Dennis moved up 10 places from where he started. Huge credit to the Andretti driver. Vern Cassidy, Bird Buemi and Maximilian Günther complete the points finishers here this afternoon. It was a dramatic end to that race. Some will be very disappointed, including Eder Mortara, who picked up a penalty following contact which sent Taylor Barnard into the barrier and out of the race. Norman Nato also picking up a penalty in 17th position there as well. Van Dorn de Costa also failing to finish this one, and we saw Evans, of course, not making the start due to his crash in qualifying. So, a dramatic conclusion to round 9 of the Tokyo EPrix here in Japan. It's Oliver Rowland who extends his lead, though, in the Drivers' World Championship.
Well, that was absolutely superb. We were all on the edge of our seats. And I mean, the wheel-to-wheel action, the pure skill, the driver skill that we saw in the race today was one of the best I think we've seen. We have to say a massive congratulations to all the podium finishers. But obviously, we've just heard that Dan Ticktum got driver of the day, and it just feels he really deserves it. What a moment for him, Katie.
Oh, I'm still trying to calm down. That was so exciting. The atmosphere was incredible here. Those final few laps, the racecraft he had with Taylor, when Taylor passed him and then he passed him back, it was unbelievable to see, and so deserved. He's been so quick. He's already analysing it. He's already thinking where he could have made a better strategy and worked with the team to take the win, but unbelievable from him today.
I think there was so much emotion from all of the drivers in your post-race interviews, Katie. I mean, it was obviously an intense race for Oliver Rowland. Yes, he's come away with a win, but it wasn't an easy one for him.
That was a super intense battle, unbelievably exciting one. We saw wheel-to-wheel action. Everyone fought for every single position in the top 5. It was brilliant to watch.
Yeah, it really was. Well, now it is time to do one thing that drivers are very good at doing. It's celebrating. It's time for the podium ceremony.
So then, over to the podium ceremony here in Tokyo. Tommaso Volpe knows what it means for Nissan. Their home race here in Formula E. As he stands aloft that position as the team principal of that outfit. This man onto the Formula E podium for the first time. His 57th race in his Formula E career. He's a bit of a divisive character, but we absolutely love him. Pound for pound, he's great entertainment, is Dan Ticktum, and that is a thoroughly well-deserved result, not only for him, but also for the Cooper Kiro team.
Same haircut there in the whole team, apparently.
Well, maybe that's going to be the tradition after it. Everyone goes with the same haircut. They all said it was Shanghai. Yeah, I tell you, I could pull a mullet off. Mine's coming out. So anyway, let's have a look then at Pascal Wehrlein as he makes his way onto the podium. His 3rd visit to the rostrum in the 2025 season. Moves ahead of both Taylor Barnard and teammate Antonio Felix da Costa in the Drivers' Championship, up to second place for the German, the reigning world champion, as he commemorates with the dignitaries on the rostrum. It's a very well-deserved result, especially given the disappointment of yesterday and no points being scored in the wet conditions for Wehrlein. But Oliver Rowland, well, second place on Saturday in the wet weather, and we wondered whether he would have the same performance and pace on Sunday. Why on earth would we have ever doubted him? Because everything he touches turns to gold. I know I've used that cliche quite a few times this weekend, but it just is so true at the moment. What a wonderful experience for him, and also for his daughter to make her way onto the podium in front of the crowd here in Tokyo. That is absolutely wonderful. Oliver Rowland and his daughter onto the top step of the podium here in Japan, celebrating in front of the Nissan team. Now time for the national anthems. A minute off to Oliver Rowland. He wins here in Japan for Nissan. Huge congratulations to the British driver who extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship. And now time for the trophies to be presented. I think Ollie's going to have to get himself down to IKEA and buy a new trophy cabinet because he's just collecting them left, right and centre this year.
Yeah, but we move to Dubai, so let's see if they have IKEA there.
Masayoshi Sakaguchi presenting the team's trophy here to Tommaso Volpe. More silverware for that team to take home back to their base in France. You can see what it means for that team as well. A lot of Japanese supporters for them here this weekend, but also a lot of people from the factory where Nissan is based here in Japan over for the events. Girls on Track representative presenting the third place trophy to Dan Ticktum, his first podium in Formula E for the Cupra Kiro team, and a thoroughly deserved one at that. Second place for Pascal Wehrlein. He'll be delighted with that one. Tony Khan, the president of DHL Japan, awarding that to the reigning world champion. He now moves into second in the driver's standings. And Oliver Rowland then. What a season that man is putting together. His 7th career victory in Formula E, his 4th of the year. First of all, the FIA President's Medal. His daughter can take that to school on Monday morning.
Yeah, she remembered that day for the rest of her life, for sure. Standing in front of so many fans. It's great to see the Japanese fans enjoying so much the Formula E race. They have such great motorsport culture, and Formula E is new to them, but I think they really love it.
Mr. Riko Kiyoki, the governor here in Japan, the winner's trophy to Oliver Rowland. To the delight of Nissan, to the delight of the crowd here in Tokyo. And now time for his daughter to exit stage right, and time for the champagne to be sprayed here in Japan, and I'm sure for the celebrations to go long on into the night.
What a wonderful race, what a wonderful event it has been. Two very different races. But I think that's kind of what makes Formula E Formula E. I hope you join us next time out, a few weeks' time, and we are in Shanghai, China for another double header. A track that has actually produced great racing. Will you join us again? We'll see you in 2 weeks. It was all here. Bye-bye.